Welcome back, everybody. Hope that you are all doing very well. Today, we will start a new series of videos on sentence relations. Now, let's start with the following question. And the question is, what's the difference between word meaning and sentence meaning? As we could see in our previous videos, the meaning of a word is actually individual. By individual, John Said means that the meaning of a word depends on the linguistic word itself and what it's related to. Either it's referent, mental image, abstract notion, or whatever the linguistic term denotes, okay? In contrast, the meaning of a sentence is compositional, and John Said means by compositional is actually the meaning of a sentence is determined by the meaning of the components of that sentence and the way they are combined together. That is to say, the structural relations between the elements of that sentence. The second difference between word meaning and sentence meaning is or has something to do with the infrequent creation of new words, which has something to do with the lexicon, where we store our lexical items. Our lexicon is said to be or is considered static to some extent, though it's not completely static. Now, the number of new words created by users of a language is limited compared to the number of creating new sentences in the same language. This possibility of creating an infinite number of novel sentences or of new sentences never heard before is by virtue of the productivity of language or the productive nature of language, which is due to the recursiveness of the syntactic rules or the recursive nature of the syntactic rules. By the recursive nature of syntactic rules, we mean the ability of applying the rules, one particular rule, more than once to the same sentence or to the same phrase. Now let's have a look at the following sentence. What we have here in front of us is a long and complex sentence. It starts with I. Now we have I know that, he knows that, they know that we were not at home when he was killed. This sentence starts with I, the subject. Then we have the predicate know that, he knows that, they know that we were not at home when he was killed. Now this know is the verb, the main verb of the sentence, and then we have the verb know is followed by a finite clause or a that clause that functions as a direct object of the verb know. That he knows, that they know that we were not at home when he was killed. Okay? Now this that clause that functions as the direct object of know has the same structure as the whole sentence. Let's have a look together. Now we have that, the complementizer. Now we have he is the subject, knows that, they know that we were not at home when he was killed is the predicate. Now knows is the verb, and this knows is followed by a that clause or a finite clause that functions as an object, a direct object of the verb knows, which is that they know that we were not at home when he was killed. Now this direct object, the second direct object, that they know that we were not at home when he was killed, also has the same structure as the structure of the whole sentence. Okay, where we have that, again the complementizer, they know that we were not at home when he was killed, is actually the sentence bar, where we have they, the subject, and know that we were not at home is the predicate. Know is the verb, and then know is followed by a third that clause or finite clause that functions as a direct object of the verb know. So what we have here is actually the application of a particular syntactic rule, which is the addition of a that clause to function as the direct object of a verb. Okay, this application takes place to the same sentence. Okay, to the same sentence. This is what is meant by the recursive nature of the syntactic rules in syntax. Okay. As in the case of the lexical relations, where we had a look at the different relations between the lexical items, we do have sentence relations, and sentences are actually related to each other in different ways as well. And the relationship between two sentences stems from the relationship between the different lexical items that are there in these two sentences or in these sentences. The first sentence relation that we are to deal with today is contradiction, where we have one sentence contradicts the other one. Okay, let's have a look at these two sentences. I passed the exam, I didn't pass the exam. I passed the exam, I didn't pass the exam. We have here two sentences that contradict each other. One of them should be true if we are to assume that they are said by the same person in the same situation and at the same time. So only one should be correct, assuming that they were uttered by the same person at the same time. Therefore, we say simply A contradicts B. Sentence A contradicts sentence B. Well, that is all for today's video. For those who are interested, these are the references that I have just used for today's video. That's all. Next, in our coming video, I will just discuss more sentence relations. That's all for today. Thank you very much for being with me. Take care, stay healthy, and stay safe. Bye-bye for now.